Start. So good afternoon, everybody. It's February 25th, and we're here today. We've been talking a little bit about conference coming up, which is going to be in October. And we have some of our getting our room reservations situated and we already have our airplane tickets and we have our conference tickets. So if you aren't signed up for conference yet, you please, and you're interested in doing that, which I highly encourage you to do that. It's going to be a really incredible blowout. I don't know how David could surpass what we did last year, or he did last year for us, but they're planning on doing that and bringing more and more incredible things to us at a conference, which is going to be in Anaheim. It's around the Disney. It's right next door to Disneyland or Disneyland. And those dates are the 20. Could you hand me that, Steve? That off the printer, please. Thank you. 26th. What date did we say? I can't see without my glasses.
23rd through the 26th.
23rd. Yeah, we're arriving on the 23rd and leaving on the 26th. But the hotel reservations are filling up pretty fast. But there are a lot of B&Bs, Airbnbs and stuff around that area because we're within walking distance of Disneyland. So, and the convention center. So, just get that, check that out to get situated for that conference because it's going to be pretty amazing. And then we were also talking about one of our members, George Baylor, who is in the hospital. He's had a stroke, and we mentioned that. We talked to one of the meetings I was in, Zoom meetings with the directors and above group, and someone mentioned to use the HAT protocol, which I had not really heard of before. And it's a protocol where you put X39, Eon, glutathione, and 2 sets of energy patches. And you put that inside of a hat. I was going to show you here where it is. I got to log in. My computer shut down, the password keeper. So I wanted to show you where it was in boards because I put it in there. So it can be used, like for head injuries, strokes, traumatic head injuries, brain injuries. And then we were discussing Alzheimer's, and I don't know why it wouldn't, this might be a really good, because we recommend those patches anyway, just not in this specific placement place. So I think it would be a great way to, use the patches for someone with Alzheimer's. So let me share the screen here and I'll show you on boards. So it's under, when you open up boards, you'll see advanced learning. It's under there. And then down here where it says physical conditions and then brain health. And there's also a brain balancing strategy there. And then here's the HAT protocol. And when you open that up, it shows a diagram here, because you could either place these directly on your head if you want, or if you're trying to do this, without having stickers all over your head, then you would put them inside of a hat. And they show you the placement here. So there's the energy, 2 sets of energy enhancers. One goes back here. I think this other picture shows a little bit better, but it shows you 1 energy enhancer on your forehead in the front, and then energy here on the right and then back. So it's like front and back and side to side. And the brown patch is on the left side. That's how they're doing it. And then the glutathione is on the top of the head. And then the Eon you place on top of the glutathione on the top of the head. And you can stick the X39 somewhere in there too, because this protocol apparently was around from before the X39 came out. So here they show, like, if you've got the hat, so the front of the hat and the right side are white energy enhancers, and then the back and the left are the brown energy enhancers. So this is in boards, so you can print this out and, share it with somebody, or, send them the link so they can find it. So it said the hat protocol was developed before X39. Many of us also add the X39. It's okay to stack one patch on top of another, pancake style. Ask your sponsor for further details.
Because I thought one time, David had said, "Don't stack anymore."
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
I heard that too, and I wish I knew where I'd heard that, because I mentioned that in this meeting. I mean, there were like 70, like mostly SPDs and above in there. And I said, I had heard David say not to stack the patches. And they said, no, you can stack the patches. We do that all the time. So I wish I knew where I heard it, because these guys have all been around a lot more.
I can't remember where it was, but I thought it was David saying it. Do not stack patches.
That's what I thought.
And do not use half a patch. I thought it also said don't use half a patch.
Okay. Well, because you're only getting half the effect, right? No.
But again, if someone is extra sensitive, using half a patch may be helpful. But
I think so. Like, especially on the glutathione, if somebody can't take a full patch, they really need just to, or cut the time down on it, take it off after a couple hours and put it back, put it somewhere and put it back on the next day or something.
yeah.
Jenny, go ahead, Jenny.
No, so this is really nice and helpful to hear. I just love learning new things every opportunity I can.
Yeah.
And my brother wears a hat, so I'm, I'm still working with him to try to get him to buy the patches, get back on them, and I just want to have the most effective process, possible for him.
Yeah, well, I wanted to show you, let me find my phone here because I got to there's the glasses. I wanted to show you this website, but I got to find it here in my text. So hang on just a second. That'd be Robin. Okay, so liveyoungerproducts.com. So if you go to liveyoungerproducts.com, which I'll go to here in a second when I get it open. It's not coming up. Hang on. Let me share. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Come on. Yeah. I keep shortening the URL and trying to go to it. COM.
What? Live Younger Products. Okay.
Yeah, here we go. Live Younger Products.com. 3 lines menu. So they've got different products here. Learn about this, preferred customer, your back office, want to learn more. I don't know what tracker and patch tips are. So they have the health benefit tracker, their own tracker. Yeah, which is similar to different trackers we've seen. I want to see what the patch tips are. The Sun story, how the product's made. Meet David Schmidt. Back to the top. Preferred customer back office. Want to learn more. Practitioner interviews, patch placement guide. Patch placement guide. Oh, this is interesting. Have not seen this. Next. So this has all of them. Okay, so I'll put this into boards also. This has them all. She just shared this website with me on Saturday when I was at the event. I sent her a thing. Well, it still has Nirvana on there, so this is obviously pretty old. But and then here's the hat protocol that I showed you, and then I don't know what they have for pain management. Introducing IFWave, the study. Here's this doctor showing you the clock method. David Schmidt, pain management, head name, pain, IceWave. So this was here. So one of the things I also wanted to talk about a little bit was let me get back. So that's a good website with some other resources that I just learned about this weekend. And I was talking with Beamy. Beamy called and asked me, what I thought about the event this weekend. And so we talked about what they did and how they did the presentation, how they did the muscle testing at the beginning, which I thought was very interesting. They did it a different way than I've seen it done before. And so I think that was a really good thing. But what she and I talked about was that we went to the event. Jenny was supposed to have some guests, and then something happened the last minute for her guests, so they didn't come. But the reason to go to this Evolve team meeting is really just to take guests there and have them, get a presentation, see what we saw, which was I think they did a really good job of it. They really piqued your interest at the beginning because they did a muscle testing. And what they did is brought 2 people up onto the stage who had never used a patch or knew anything about the patch really, and asked them to stand on one leg and to see how their balance was. And they brought a man up and they brought a woman up, and they both had they were both wobbly, trying to stand on one foot. Put your feet together, put your hands out, and then try to stand on one foot. And then they took a patch, and the guy doing it said you could take any patch and just put it anywhere on the body. So he stuck one, I think, up on a shoulder of somebody, and the other lady, he put one on her back, lower back. And what it did is within seconds, they immediately had much better balance, and it was very obvious to them and to people watching them, and they're going like, well, I've never met you before, like they weren't a plant in the audience or something. But it was really a good demonstration of the patch, the power of the patch, which I think is good to have, that you can demonstrate that with somebody. If they're skeptical about the patch, you could do that you know, with them using, as they said, any of the patches. But then we stayed for the most of the training. I think you stayed for most of the training, and I was there for the whole thing. But the training that they're teaching, is the evolved training where you sample people, you send them samples, and you have that interchange. You're working with them and sending out samples. And as we're transitioning more into with what Peter's doing, and their approach is to stop the sampling. When you're doing sampling, it takes more time. It stretches out the process. You're not being able to, just work with someone, show them the website, and do that. So we're really trying to get away from doing samples with people for many reasons. Just the time reason, also that if they're not hydrated, if you give them some, they may not feel anything. It's that whole thing. So I believe doing it the Peter way, the new Peter way with Pique the Interest, do the what have you heard, website, and do it that way. It just shortens this curve of getting people interested. If they're not if they don't pique their interest, and get them to understand the technology and watch a podcast, it's going to either be a yes or a no after that. There's not going to be, did the patch work, or what did you feel, or all these kind of nebulous things that can be too many variables in them. So I really did like the muscle testing, though. I mean, you could show somebody that, or but as far as giving people other patches, like some X39, and it's just more of a drawn out process. And I've learned that myself because I had been going to some sound healings, and one of the patches that is really great to have for a sound healing is an Alavita worn right here. And so I went to a couple sound healings and gave the people, I put one on my forehead, and then offered one to the person who was giving the sound healing. She was doing the event. And so she wore hers, but it's really, it didn't work out as well as I thought it would, because they're distracted about that. They don't know about the X39, or I'm not leading properly. So I just wanted to bring that up to you guys. It's really, I've found that working the program, the recipe, the 3-step recipe is really the best way to get people in front of the information and get them going, because you don't have to have an experience with it. You don't have to have your own story. You don't have to know a lot about the patch. Anybody can just direct them to the website, go through those steps, and get them back on the phone with you later when they have watched the podcast.
And I agree. I have given out a lot of patches, and I have not found that it's brought that many customers to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that they're really using it when they leave the place. When they leave my presence, are they using, are they not using it? Number one. Number two, because it ends up being very costly. And you're right. If they are not hydrating, and and there could be other factors going on, I don't know that it's that effective for them to, experience it. And so I'm less likely. Plus we can, they've got a 30-day try it. And if you don't like it, they can get their money back after 30 days.
Yeah. I think, like you said, I think that's a better approach, because there's too many variables with everybody trying to sample people. And when you do, I mean, can be expensive. And then people get discouraged, that they're spending all their money and getting patches and doing it that way. So just wanted to let you guys know. So if there are other groups other than Peter that are doing meetings in your area or that you're aware of or can send people to, just have them go to the presentation part of it. And then if they're doing a Evolve team training, then I would recommend the people not stay for the training if you're sending them to another city, if you're not there. And then work with them with Peter's system and the website. Okay. Okay, Carla, do you have any questions?
No, I don't. I'm just really enjoying listening to the group and your training. Thank you.
Okay. Well, you might want to check back to the beginning of this when the recording's up, because we were talking about the HAT protocol, which I just learned about this weekend, which is for people with strokes, head injuries, head traumas, that sort of
Thank
thing.
you. Yes, yes, I will be that, with what we're going through and also what we do. That is a very integral part. So thank you for sharing that. And I will.
Okay. And it's on boards. I put the HAT protocol on boards under physical conditions in the first page.
So inspired to have that. Murray's back in with the respiratory. We were in the ER. So the reason I say that is because, I put the Eon, I put the brain and the Alvita, and I was thinking about the Alvita, how you put it on the forehead. And I'll just tell you my own experience. I experience it better if it's on the back on the seat, back of the neck. And I've tried it on the front of my forehead, and I guess that's one of those things I'm more comfortable with when I'm by myself in the house. It even irritates me for half a second, but I guess I just fall asleep and forget about it. But I notice it works better for me on the back. So I don't know if it's a thing. We see ourselves with this patch on the front of our head, even though we know it's good. I think maybe that's sometimes why people look, because it's an oddity, and I think it stops them from thinking that it's doing its job. I don't know why we do that, but I was laughing because my husband, when I put it on his head, he actually said, "I'm not sleeping with this on my forehead." I'm thinking, you're asleep. You won't know what it is. Go to bed.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was just wanted to share that because I was kind of laughing when you said, it's a little different experience than I anticipated.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's a whole system and you can either put the patches on the head in these positions. It's X39, 49, no, not 49, X39, Eon, glutathione, and energy enhancer. 2 sets of energy enhancers at one time. So
Now that is going to be beautiful because I saw the difference with what I've been doing, just working with Murray since his incident on November the 20th. And I actually witnessed it with my own eyes. The one day, like it felt like the electricity caught something triggered. I even saw him shake his head side to side, like
what's going on?
Yeah, just a real quick, like, irritated. What's that? And then I'm telling you, bam. It's like, I don't know, everything started firing different. Even in the eyes and the pupil, it was a clarity in there. And it has been ever since. Even the arm has stopped retracting. And even though he doesn't have full sensation of the brain working faster, I'm noticing now the distance of the time and movement are becoming more fluid. And it's just been with that, with the patches, and I can see it like so fast. I'm thankful, and I know that sounds weird. I'm like, well, I'm glad I get to see this in action, because what a better way than you're getting to experience it, see it, and know it. And it just really made me thank you for staying consistent with your people, because when you called me 3 years ago now, I just knew we were doing it for our birthday. We just knew we were doing it for our health. I had no idea why I was supposed to do it, but if Mo called me, I trusted and loved and valued you enough that you thought of me, not because you were selling me something, but because you knew the value of what you were sharing with me. And I didn't ask a question. And I have been so thankful because I don't think we would have been able to face this health situation if we had not already had the foundation so strong. So thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Did you want to share more, a little bit about what happened to him? More of the testimony.
Okay, I would be sure. So on November the 30th, my husband has COPD and underlying emphysema, but there has been a infection that has taken root in his lung. So that seems to be the picking place for him. However, on the 30th, he went into an exacerbation where the lungs is not exchanging the CO2 for those people that might, they start looking gaspy or sucking out of the mouth, whatever you want to call it, when you notice that. And there's too much CO2 and they can't get enough oxygen exchange. So it's too thick. It's almost like, oil and water. It was too thick. He couldn't move anything. However, we believe that he dropped down, his saturation dropped down so low at 70 something, like in a split second, while he was moving from a chair, that he actually had a stroke from it. And it hit his left side, but it wasn't so fast. It kept increasing over time. And we told him when we arrived, yet they only induced steroids, saying it was a steroidal effect. And we knew darn well it was a brain effect. You don't feel your left leg in your fingers and tell them, hey, it's going numb. And, oh, well, that could be a side effect from the high dose of steroids. Okay, we get that. But so fast forward, we know he had a stroke. He could see he had a stroke the way it was. It wasn't really addressed, nor did they deny it. So we got the lungs under control and we came home. Now we're faced with a different set of issues because now he cannot walk with the left leg, hold the left, and nor now breathing and being able to walk on oxygen. And this guy was working, 16 hours a day in November, a week before this. So here we are. So just praying and continuing. Carnosine, glutathione, Eon, and the X39. I just stayed consistent. And I saw the difference, maybe not, maybe a week or two later. And it wasn't a rapid, it was, it was so fluid that if you weren't noticing it, it was so natural that you just kind of, that's how they always are. So you didn't really like, wow, did he just really experience this? Because it was like night and day and how he just went back. But he doesn't still feel it. He sometimes has trouble seeing it, but he moves like you and I do without thinking. And his brain is just I've seen people with that same stroke and they're in chairs. They're not walking. It just flipped, like it was a week later and it just, something flipped and I saw it. And he still has a moment, but I know where I can see it now. And I don't know if that's a combination, but his brain is stronger. His conversation's fluid. His strength is there. His cognition is there. And if it wasn't for the lungs, I mean, if you didn't know it and he wasn't experiencing the nerve, like he doesn't feel the touching his foot the same way. He even tells me he doesn't see himself walking. But if you and I were looking at him, because muscles have memory, he is moving as if he had never had a stroke, but yet he doesn't really feel it. It's just his body is functioning and firing as it was. So besides the grace of God, the light and the power of the patch, it has been beautiful to see. Even though he's in a long exacerbation, it's actually very beautiful to see that that the patch is still hitting the part and we're not just, putting another medicine on top of a problem and never resolving the problem. So again, it's really been a very living, beautiful journey.
Awesome. What did the doctor say? Did the doctors have anything about how quickly he responded or?
Well, he was in such a situation. I'll be honest with you. The doctor looked at me and told me if it would have this round, as this just happened last night, we went back. So I just got in from the emergency room. So we admitted him. And this one, we almost missed the window, he said. And it leads back to what I was telling y'all, because even while he has been in this the last 10 to 13 days, I know that I have seen the difference of the inflammation markers, the bounce back. They did not expect him to recover that fast. And he's over there with 100% oxygen, cognate brain, and they're still flushing CO2 out of his body. He was like at 65. He was at the point that, guys, if he had just waited within about maybe 2 to 3 minutes, he probably would have just gone on to sleep, because he was so he was, honestly, he was going to die.
Wow.
So, so the patch, even when I took it over there on it, they looked, oh, what's that? I said, that's beautiful. I said, it's a beautiful stem cell technology. I said, that's a wellness patch. That's why he's so strong in where he's at. It was really amazing. And so I got 4 or 5 different beautiful people looking at it, but nor was it the time to have it. But yet, let me just show the experience of getting to see and get to see it medically documented, getting to see him and the difference of, just, you can see it. I mean, I just don't know how to describe it until you experience it. And I know it's because the Lord, the patch, and what we get to do is live our faith, and we get to see the truth of healing, walking our healing out. So we'll have great stories like this for other people, because I don't know what we would have done if I had doubted it or tried to be convinced or thought it was just something else to do. I'm thankful that I got ahead of the curve.
So tell me again, which patches you use? X39.
We do the X39 and the Eon. I've actually been putting the Eon on the middle of his chest because of so much inflammation into his bronchial. I do the carnosine. And I've only been doing the glutathione on him every other day because it's so powerful. It pulls a lot of energy from you. So sometimes when you don't have that energy resource, I've noticed that after I put too many patches on him, I notice him really tireder, but that's probably to be expected. But so carnosine, Eon, X39.
And where are you putting the carnosine?
The carnosine, he seems to respond really better in the back of the neck, but I've been putting it down on with the Eon patch on his sternum. It's not a place location, but I've been putting the carnosine where we do the glutathione, similar right there with the Eon, right around for him, particularly right on the breast area of his lung and chest area. And the carnosine, again, closer to the brain, I will put it on the back where, right at the stem at the top, right closer above where we put the E on. So, I mean, the X39C7, I put the carnosine right above it. And I actually put it at the base of his neck. And that day that I did that and put those two together is when I saw something like, it was like, what? Like, and I saw it because we were in the middle of a talk. Like he was trying to form his words to me. And it was like all of a sudden it was like shook it off and bam, there it was. Something just, even his eyes changed. The pupils got dilated better. He didn't look so tired. His words formed. It was just really amazing. And that was after about 3 days. And now it hasn't stopped. It's just gotten better. Yeah. So whatever was lasting didn't last. And whatever was needing help helped, but it popped it. I mean, I just saw it. It was just really beautiful. Because I've never seen something like that in front of my eyes so fast,
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your.
Thank you.
We have Murray on our prayers.
And we appreciate that. And we do feel the love and we do feel the prayers.
Okay.
That's awesome. Very awesome. So I think the patches have saved my life, or saved me from having complications. Because I've gone to the patch, I've been to the hospital 3 different times. One of the times was because of a possible stroke. The second time was because of a possible stroke. And The third time was because of a perfect storm that took place. But the thing is that I recovered. I mean, the thing is when they did all the x-rays, when they did the CT scans, they did the blood work, what they found showed that it was like whatever it was getting ready to start and it stopped. And it was kind of cool, really cool. So
Wow. Wow.
yeah. And so like they were looking for an embolism in my heart the last time that I was in the hospital. And the thing is, and it would show that I had, a heart attack. And even though my numbers were up really high, I didn't show any of the signs. It didn't have any of the signs. And it was just, like an amazing thing for them to see all of that. And my sodium was really, really low. They put IVs in this hand and that hand because they were going to be giving me meds, right? The whole time that I was in the hospital, I never received any. My body came back all by itself. I never had anything hooked up to me, ever. It was an amazing experience. When I went into ICU that night, they told me, I mean, like people don't just get up out of the bed and go to the bathroom on their own in ICU. And, and so the thing is that one of the nurses was in there and she said, I just really don't think you need to be in here. But of course they put me in there because of what they found, what they were thinking that they were going to be finding. And so, then the next day I got put into a hospital room. And then the next day I was released from the hospital. So, and they told me that the only thing they could figure out is that it was just a perfect storm. And so I had low sodium and my heart doctor told me start taking metoprolol. So I started taking the metoprolol. It brought my blood pressure down very low. I already had low sodium, and those two worked together, make me pass out. And so it looked like I had a heart attack. Anyway, it's just the craziest situation. But the thing is, I believe that those patches work. Those patches they're doing a job.
Yes.
And whenever I went to the heart doctor, okay, so when I went to the heart doctor this week, you know what my heart doctor told me?
What?
So well, I want you to think of yourself as, whenever you came in here, you had, problems with what was the word that he said? Some sort of a problem with my heart. And, because I had the bicuspid valve and the aneurysm. And he said, so you already had problems that were going on with your heart. And he said, and so what it was like is like you had a termite problem. But he said, and the termites are gone now, but you still have the holes. And that's what he told me. That's the only way that he can explain my heart problem now. So, because I told him, I said, like whenever I'm walking, I'll just, my chest will start to feel like it's tightening up. He goes, you have a stiff heart. And I said, what do I do? What do I need to do? He said, slow down. That's what I do. That's what I'm supposed to do is slow down. So the thing is I believe the X39 is healing me. And
Yes.
so where I'm at now compared to where I was 2 years ago is a much better place. So, and your husband's got COPD and he's got asthma. I've
No,
got COPD.
COPD and emphysema.
Yeah.
And
They're putting that on me. So
yes.
they're putting that on me. And so the thing is you don't even have to claim that. These things are working. And
Yeah, I don't claim it, and I see it. And I forgot to tell you, and if we hadn't have gone in because his oxygen stopped, we didn't realize that he had developed real quickly an atrial valve, uh, where it's not rhythm right. So it's I call it his little rhythm got blocked, and so now that was what was That's what was causing his pulse to rise up to 110. Blood pressure doesn't get over 90, over 58. This guy's never been sick in his life. I mean, when he goes big, he goes big. So again, that kind of goes to back where they got that balanced, and we've just stayed on that patch, and we're seeing it. And they're expecting worse because they look at his age, and my husband's 82, and they're thinking he's supposed to be sick, and they look like, wait, is this the guy? I mean, even that they walk in and go, "What are y'all doing? We want
And
your
then,
energy." I said, "Perfect, you can have it. Give me. I'll share with you what we're doing."
yeah, did you see the research on those lobsters?
Exactly.
So
I
anyway,
think we all just need to go hang around Methodist and start meeting in there and just loving on the people around there and start making that a periodic, like, hey, have you heard of this? I mean, I really tell you, I meet so many beautiful people that they care about their health. They're at a perfect spot. I mean, I think we ought to go start like we did at the Galleria, girl. We ought to go start photo sharing the light bombing X39 at Methodist.
oh
All right.
yeah, that'd be
All
very
right.
cool. Very cool.
Well, let me share my latest results with the patch. So I had my endoscopy and my colonoscopy on the 17th. And so this is probably my fifth colonoscopy. And this is the first one I've ever had that had no polyps, nothing to biopsy. He said it was excellent. Your colon is excellent. And then right before that, I had my latest eye exam, and I had gone from since I've been on the patches, I started out at 2040, and then I went to 2025 the next year, and this year I'm 2020 with my vision. So, and right now I'm wearing this patch here because I think I got some of the insulation in my eye. I was working in my, where the ceiling fell in yesterday. And ever since then, it feels like there's something in my eyeball. I don't know. So anyway,
No, I'm
this is the
joking.
X39 I'm wearing today. And then earlier I took the Eon off my stomach and put it up here this morning. And tonight I'll wear the Eon up here. But
What happened, baby? Is it you got a black eye? Keep trying to get it bigger.
huh? Can you see
Is
it?
that other one a black eye? What happened?
I don't know. It feels like there's something in it. It feels maybe like a sty. It's tender right out here. I don't know.
Well,
I
you
also
know what?
used on Sunday, I used some new eyeliner. Maybe that I was allergic to that. It was a brand new thing, brand new. I opened it up and put it on, and well, I don't know why it wouldn't bother both eyes then because I wore it on both eyes, so I'm not sure, but it's feeling better, much better with the X39 and the Eon on it.
Well, wouldn't that be a carnosine thing too? Since carnosine is for your organs and eye and
Your
the
eye,
organ.
yeah. Well, I wear the carnosine here at night. I wear the
Oh,
Alavita
I thought you
here.
wore the Alvita over here on the pituitary, and then the carnosine up here.
Yeah, that's what I
Like
do. I
right here.
wear Eon here. I mean, Alavita here and the carnosine here
I
at
didn't know
night.
you put them both on your there. That's
Okay.
interesting.
Okay. Share
Yeah.
with me how did you get that location and what has your experience been? What are you actually going
Well, the
that location?
Alavita, I've just been, everybody says to wear the Alavita here on your third eye. So that's what I've always done. And the carnosine, since I was working on my eyesight, um, I've, heard people say they can put them on a sleep mask, and wear that over your eye, or you can put it here, at night and maybe alternate sides or wear two, whatever you want to do. But I just put it in the middle to do it all.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I hadn't thought of that, and I'm really thinking about is our friend Patricia. She's not on here right now, but all her situations with her eyes. We have a colleague in Virginia, so we'll let her tell y'all her story about her eyes. So I'm curious to call her and check in with her, and then again encourage her to continue or get carnosine because I don't think she's just started with the X39.
9. Yeah. Well, I mean, X39, Eon, and then the carnosine. You know, I would go That's what I was just talking with someone right before the call, who when I had the osteoporosis and I was using Algical, I did a testimony for them, and they pick one testimony a month to put on their website, and they picked mine. So my testimony, a video testimony, is on there that I sent them. And so this woman saw it, and she actually contacted me because she was concerned that the testimonies were fake. So she tracked me down and called me. And so, I said, no, it's real,
That's
anyway,
awesome.
so she's now interested in trying the patches along with that calcium product. So
Yeah, I just quit. I just unsigned up for Algical today. So do you think I
did you?
should sign back up for it?
Huh?
So you think I should sign back up for it? Yeah, I unsigned up for it today.
You signed up for it today.
I unsigned up. I canceled
Unsigned
my
up.
order.
You
Yeah,
canceled your
yeah, I canceled my Algical order today
because of why?
because I'm not taking it. It's just
Oh,
sitting in
you're
my,
not taking it yet. Well, that's a good
yeah, it's
reason.
sitting in my kitchen. Yeah, I'm not taking it.
Well, I was taking 2 tablets in the morning, 2 tablets in the afternoon, and then or capsules, and then at nighttime you take the strontium. And then and then I added the patches to that and the X49. And then after I did that, my next DEXA scan was normal bone density. So I went from osteoporosis to normal bone density using that combo. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking 1 calcium in the morning and 1 calcium in the afternoon instead of 2 and 2, and not taking the strontium at night and using the X49.
Right, right. So
Yeah.
I'm using the X49. So I guess I need to
Well, you still
do
need to
that.
take some kind of calcium, I believe, supplement. So if you're not taking any other one, um, that's what I'm taking that as my calcium supplement.
Hmm. Yeah,
Well,
interesting.
all right, ladies.
Me
Well, I just
too,
want to.
Max. Okay, never mind.
So I want to know more about this other thing y'all are speaking on after we finish on another time, but I want to say thank you. That's all I have to share with my seeds of love and deposits for y'all. I appreciate these stories and uh just giving us opportunity to grow together. Thank you, Mo. Thank you, Joy. Thank you for sharing.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you for sharing.
I'm looking forward. Where are you at?
I'm in Ardmore, Oklahoma.
All right. Well, we look forward anytime you come down over here to Texas, honey. We always got a room, a hug, and a good food, baby. You
Oh yeah.
you
Oh
come on
yeah.
over here. I got a place for you, and Mo knows it. So you just come on. We'll do a life wave soon and see you soon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sounds
All
good.
right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording.